You know, my personal opinion, the hardest major title to win in Canada is a Memorial Cup. You got to have a balance of good coaching, good scouting to build your team, strong forwards, both defense and offense. You have to have positive defensemen in all aspects of the game. You have to have solid goaltending. Now, when the Montreal Junior Canadiens had great success in the late 60s, early 70s, winning back-to-back Memorial Cups in what they called the Perot era, there was a whole bunch of top players on it. Now, this podcast is dedicated to Alan Globinski, who was a key defenseman on the side, and he told me his teammate was one of the best goalies he ever played with, and I tend to agree. A multi-year WHA player, he toiled in the minor leagues before getting a chance with the other league, and he made the best of it. Probably one of the most respected goalies of the 1970s, and of course we have to be talking about the very talented Wayne Wood. Now, Wayne Wood was selected by New York from the Junior Canadiens in the 1971 NHL Amateur Draft. I think it was a steal. He got him in the 6th round, 83rd overall. And this is why I'm saying it's a steal. In the 69 season with Montreal, he went 24, 4-2 in the regular season with a 3.02 average. With Montreal, the back-to-back Memorial Cups, he won 32, 11, and 4 in 50 games. And in Montreal in 71, his last, before his draft, 27, 14, and 8. Now, he first came to major prominence in playing in a Quebec Junior B association for the West Island Flyers. He was 15 years old in the 67 season. He was getting a lot of prominence amongst the scouts. Now, he eventually played for Verdun as a 16-year-old in 68 in the QJHL and appeared in the 68 Memorial Cup tournament. Get this, going 16-5 in 22 tournament games. Now, he won the Metropolitan Montreal Hockey League QHL Rookie of the Year award with Verdun in 1968 and was named to the second team with Verdun All-Star formation in that campaign. Now, in his Memorial Cup year, he led the OHA with a 3.202 goals against average in 69. He also won the OHA Dave Pinckey Trophy as the number one goalie on team with a lowest GAA with Montreal in 69. He was also the OHA playoff goals against leader in 69 with a 3.38 average. Now, he led OHL playoffs in wins with 12, shutouts with 1, and goals against average with 2.94 with Montreal in 1970. Now, this is where it got kind of interesting. His last year with the Junior Canadiens, he was drafted by the Rangers. He played with the Providence Reds for 8 games and 17 games with the Omaha Knights of the CHL. Now, in 25 contests, he had been averaging about 3.1 goals per game. Now, 73 with Providence, he was their top goalie, number 1, 58 games that year with a 3.02 average. So you're thinking to yourself, hey, the Rangers are going to make room for him. I don't think so. 74, he split time between the Providence Reds and was loaned to the Albuquerque Six Guns. Now, he eventually played with the Albuquerque Six Guns, but was loaned by the Rangers, subject to recall to that side of the CHL on October 2nd, 1973. Now, what really hurt him as well, there was a massive injury in the 74 season. He had torn ligaments in his knee, and injury suffered during the Ranger training camp, and he re-aggravated during Albuquerque's October 23rd, 73 practice. He did not make his 74 regular season debut until joining Providence. Now, again, called up from Albuquerque to Providence on December 1873, and then returned in February of 74. He also posted the first shutout in Albuquerque Six Guns history with a 2-0 win at Fort Worth on February 17th, 74. Now, he eventually signed a WHA contract with the Vancouver Blazers in June 74. Now, we knew that there was going to be some big movement. He was going to finally get a chance to play in Major Pro. And again, I don't understand why the Rangers didn't give him a better shot, but like I said, maybe they figured John Davidson and Vilmuir, and they weren't deciding on Jackman as well. So, Wayne, at 6 feet typical 195, 6'6" 6'1" goalie. First season with the Blazers, pretty solid numbers. 4-4 record in 11 games with a 3.52 average. He also played with Tulsa that year of the CHL with a 5-2-1 record in 8 games. But 76, this is where the interesting campaign comes in. He played with the Calgary Cowboys for 19 games and the Toronto Tours for 13 games. He had a 15-10-1 record with about a 3.65 average. Now, the WHA at the time were using a lot of what they call talented minor league or talented former major junior goalies, and like I said, he got that chance. Now, because he was a member of the Vancouver team that relocated to Calgary in May 7, 75, he had a good shot with them, but was eventually traded by Calgary to Toronto in exchange for future considerations, what ended up being Gavin Kirk on February 26, 76. Now, he was a member of the Toronto WHA team that relocated to Birmingham on June 30th, 76, and in that campaign, he had, again, 23 games in 77 with a 7-12 record. Now, Birmingham in 78 took on a lot of games, 32 with a 12-10-2 record, 3.83 average. Now, in 79, he played the majority of the season with the San Diego Hawks in the PHL for 19 games. Played in 6 games with Birmingham with a 1-3 record. Now, he also was a member of the PHL team that folded along with the entire league at the end of the 79 season. Now, he hooked up with the minor leagues again, and he eventually found his way with the Cincinnati Stingers and the Adirondack Red Wings of the AHL in the 1980 season. Now, he was part of the Stingers team that had folded at the end of the season. 22 games that year with Cincinnati and Adirondack, and also 10 games with Johnstown Red Wings of the EHL, 32 games, and again about 3.8 average. Now, 81, his last minor pro season, 15 games with Adirondack with a 3-9-1 record, of course, in the Detroit system. Now, what I find a little bit confusing about Wayne's career is that we obviously thought coming out of Major Junior he would be drafted by either original 6 team or one of the new expansion franchises and be giving a great chance. I talked to Alan about Wayne. He told me Wayne had the respect of a lot of the scouts and a lot of his teammates. I honestly thought he was going to get a good chance in the NHL, and getting to the WHA, strong results. But to not play in the NHL, of all the players that played Major Junior in that early part of the 1970s in the Q League, he deserved NHL time. And again, New York, there was a lot going on with the goaltending, and I don't know if they were just basically had decided on Villemure or Jacquemin or about picking up John Davidson, but he was kind of the number 4 on the depth chart, if that makes any sense. And sometimes you're number 4, you'll never play with an NHL team ever again unless you're playing. He made a good decision going to WHA, and here's the proof, ladies and gentlemen. 104 career games, WHA, 2 shutouts, a decent 3.89 average, 39 wins, 39 losses, and 3 ties with an 88% save percentage. Now, his best year for a lot of people in his final year, he won the Calder Cup championship with Adirondack, where he was MVP in the playoffs in 81, that very strong team. Now, Wood, who was again born in Toronto, unfortunately, this made news across New Brunswick when he passed. Passed away in Moncton, New Brunswick on November 10th in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea about Wayne Wood, 2-time Memorial Cup champion, played in a myriad of leagues, Calder Cup champion with Adirondack. Again, with all the goaltending woes that Detroit had, I would have given him a 5-game tryout in the NHL, because, and even Buffalo could have given him a chance, because again, he played with Gilbert Perreault and Rick Martin. So I mean, one of the biggest regrets, I think, in my coverage of the NHL later on, is looking back at that Wayne Wood's career and seeing him not play in the NHL. I'm glad he got the WHA, but even like playing with Team Canada at the tail end of his career with the Team Canada program, either at the World Championships or touring squads, he was dynamite on the angles. I saw him make some saves with the with the Blazers and the Bulls. My God, good cerebral player, very strong. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with our WHA Vintage podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, and maybe, like I said, requests. Let me know a player that you thought was going to make the NHL, made the WHA, but should have made the NHL. Give me a request, because there's tons on my side. I like to hear from you guys of who you think, and we might be on the same mindset. Andrew Lippert, Daniel Bowden, Bo Sheaves, all are Kendall Giverson, all are good followers of the channel. I want to pick your brain, so if you can come up with one player who made the WHA in the 1970s and should have made the NHL, let me know. Maybe do a series on it. Thanks for listening. Bye.